So this is a unit I got. It's called an EG360, and it actually has been pretty good. I've got 22 hours on it, and I've been moving a bunch of dirt around on my property, and it's really worked quite well. A lot of power and basically doing what I bought it for, doing a good job. Okay, a couple of things that I found out on this thing. There's really not a lot of information. But what I want to show you, the rad here, it's kind of nice. You can get at, move it and get at everything. So that, I was only checking that one, and it's not a dipstick. That's just where you fill it, easier access. But that one on this side, that's where the dipstick is. So I found that and I checked it and it was low, so that was the cause of that. So that was something I didn't expect. Oh, and the other thing is this thing, the radiator kind of wears, and I've moved this around already, this little rubber thing, and it keeps kind of squashing out and metal to metal. So I'm gonna have to do something more permanent there. That just kind of sits and it shakes and vibrates. And the manual doesn't tell you that there's a sensor that if your oil is low, it will shut the engine off, which is actually a great feature. Because how I found it was trying to load it, it was at an angle. And when I was loading it up, it would turn off. I couldn't figure out why. And then I realized that it was low on oil. So there's a level switch in there that gets too low, and it'll kick the engine off. So once I added more oil, I could put it at more of an angle, and I had no issues. So that's something that's sort of undocumented. So that's a little tip for you if you got one of these units. Look at this, 22 hours on it. We'll turn the power on. 22.3 hours on this skid steer. It's a good little unit, except I got a blown bearing already. Look at that. This thing is toast. So that's after 22 hours of running. It's just jacked up the back end and slid out the wheel, and this thing is just trashed after 22 hours. There's kind of the outer seal, and that's not helping. And look at this. This thing is just toast. Apart. Looks like the wheel is probably, oh, it's really scored. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna need a new wheel. It's just chewed. There's a C-clip. There's a C-clip groove, but yeah, it's rough. Yeah, the bearing. Oh yeah, it's, I don't know, she's pretty screwed up. The C-clamp. I don't know what happened. 22 hours on it. Shouldn't be this bad. But I did notice it was binding and it wasn't a smooth operation. I thought it was just the adjustment on the track, but maybe this is defective right from the start. Anyway, I might need a whole new wheel, bearing, shaft. I don't know how common these parts are, but this is kind of the Chinese thing, Chinese unit. You can see the track is kind of chewed up. The rubbers come off. You can see that. So that's on that side. This side, track looks similar. The rubber is just kind of wearing off. And this outer seal is kind of loose, which isn't really good. So I don't know if dirt's getting in there. Look at that, that's come off. It's just to stop the dirt from getting in there. But I'll definitely buy 2 new bearings. It comes off easy, just bolt here on this side, bolt on the other side, and slips up. So that's, you know, pretty simple. And I'm sure the other ones, they're similar bearings. I would imagine the same bearing for them all. Anyway, these probably take most of the beating, these end ones. But I think it's premature for a machine that has 22 hours on it. Other than that, it runs good. No problem with that. But yeah, that sucks. Gotta get that fixed before I can get back at her. I'm gonna check these other rollers. I guess I'll have to just jack the machine up and get at these rollers, see what kind of bearings they have. They're not as, say, critical or the heavy use. You know, the drive one for sure, and that end one I think gets a lot of torque or weight on it. And here's the other side. I took the other one off just to have a look at it, and good thing I did, because it's one bearing was just fell apart and the other one was actually good. There's 2 bearings in each wheel. That's how you adjust your tension for your track. And what I'm thinking, this premature failure, is that the tracks were too tight. So I guess with no manual, I don't know how you're supposed to adjust them. It already came kind of adjusted and working. I thought that was probably set well. I added some grease to these grease nipples. They took a fair amount. I don't know if they actually put any grease in them from the factory or not, or whoever assembled this thing. I got one of the other rollers out, the center ones. There's 3 in each side. Looks like the center shaft is the same. I imagine that'd be the same component. No sense having a whole bunch of different ones. Cheaper to manufacture that way. But the seals are definitely different. It's a metal seal. And there is a number on it. I wrote it down on the board here. As a WSHY 44-130 by 98. So it might, at least as a part number, maybe track it down. But these seals look better. I don't know if metal, just because it's metal means it's better. But I'm hoping these ones, I don't have as much trouble. They're easy to get out, but yeah, it's sealed, so it's non-maintainable, which is good as long as it lasts. But these other ones were non-maintainable as well. But look at where we're at. And what I think happened was really the track was too tight and it put too much stress on these bearings, and you can just see how it just ate that up. I'm hoping that I'll just keep the chain, or not chain, but the track looser once I get these bearings replaced, and I won't have this problem again, because 22 hours of run time is way premature. So that's the only thing I can think of as the cause is track was too tight and the bearings didn't have enough grease on them. Hopefully I'm going to grease up really good when I put it back together. We'll do another follow-up video and let you know how things are progressing once I get the seals and all that. So I've ordered new bearings. They're SKF 3205s, and the seals are the TC 2552/8s. I'm not sure what the 2 is, what that means. If anyone knows, shoot me a comment. The Loctite 660 is for the inside. This wheel, it's fine. I don't have to worry about it. But this one, it really cratered bad and it scored the inside. So I tried to get these wheels and so far I've been unsuccessful. So to buy these wheels, you might have to go to China, order. So far I haven't found a place where I can get them. I went to Bobcat, theirs aren't even close. I went to another dealer here, Kubota. Their stuff isn't close either. I thought it might be kind of a universal part. The wheel itself is not, but the bearings and seals are readily available. So just a warning, I guess you got to keep an eye on those because you know, they're not greasable, but you should probably buy some seals so you can take them apart and just re-grease them yourself. 22 hours shouldn't have to be going through this, but I'm thinking that, I don't know, they're usually, you buy a bearing, they're already greased. I don't know what happened here. They seem to be dry as a bone. They don't look like there's ever been any grease on it, but that's just seems unusual. SKF bearings I've ever bought before were always pre-greased. So overall, this skid steer is kind of what I wanted for 6,500 bucks. You know, looked at a Bobcat today, it was 35,000. So if I have to go through a few minor repairs, end of the day, I think it'll still be worth it. It just kind of delayed my project a little bit. Now I gotta wait for parts. So the more I work with it, learn how to maintain it properly so it's gonna last, I'll do another video and just share what I find and help you out if you purchase one or if you're thinking of purchasing one. Anyway, that's it for now, and we'll catch you on the next one.